What is going on, everyone? I'm Paul Sabo. This is twitch.tv/LordxHam, and this is Punk with a Controller. We go live Fridays, usually in the evening around 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we record an episode of our podcast. We catch up with each other and what we've been playing and what we've been watching. We break down what's happening in the gaming industry that week, what's popping off in the news. We end with a closing topic that's very video game centric and what we want to see out of the industry, what we like, just to give you more insight to who we are as gamers. If you've missed any of these episodes, you can go over to youtube.com/punkwithacontroller, where all 14 episodes are now live. Jay, are you ready to rock?
Dude, I'm ready to roll.
All right, because I am exhausted, so I'm gonna need you to help carry this one for me, because cheers, it's been another long week.
Oh boy. It's been a pretty not too shabby week for me. NGL.
When did we move to Florida?
Yeah.
For those of you, we're in Ohio, and it has been so humid. It has been not only the wettest and rainiest summer of my life, like without a doubt, no questions asked, but it has been so fucking humid because of it. Like, I cannot take it anymore. I don't want to do anything. I'm just so sluggish after work.
Yeah, well, I work outside. So, yeah, I noticed. And it is like Florida. It'll like torrential downpour for like 10 minutes and then stop and then be blazing hot all day. And then the most nasty thunderstorm ever rolls through.
And then it'll bring it down to like 60 degrees. And
Yeah.
it's like really nice. But then the clouds will disappear in 10 minutes, the sun's out, and then heat brings everything up to, with humidity, like 100 degrees. It's fucking terrible. But yeah, you said you didn't have a bad week. How was your week?
It wasn't too well. Well, I guess like I'm talking the work week. Some terrible things happened over the weekend, and don't really have to go into detail about it. I don't know. I mean, you might have heard, so I'll just text
Yeah,
you.
you could DM me off air.
But anyway, the work week was pretty nice. I mean, like, yeah, it was hot out, but got through it, and I played a lot of Tarkov this week. I played a lot of Tarkov. Well, I just had time to play video games in general, so yeah, I don't know. It hasn't been too bad.
Where can people find your live stream?
Oh, over at twitch.tv/LordxHam. LordxHam on all socials. I'm the only one. And we've been just streaming Tarky and getting I would say clocking domes and shit, but been getting my ass handed to me and force-fed shit. The last couple days on Tarkov been rough.
I watched some of your stream over the weekend while I was getting the last episode prepped. I saw you switched your sidearm real quick and dropped some fools. That was cool.
Oh yeah, and then I put it on TikTok, and it was my first TikTok to hit 1,000 views.
Oh fuck yeah!
In like 2 hours.
I don't get TikTok, man. That one's
It's awesome.
I'm
Dude,
officially too old.
No,
for that one.
Trust me. All right, you give TikTok right 2 days. 2 days, and it'll know exactly what you want to see, and then it'll be like,
That's
here's
scary.
here's a couple. The algorithm is just
Yeah.
spot on, and then it'll be like, here's a couple things to like test the waters, some new shit. But like, when I first got on, I'm like, everything's just like twerking videos and like dance challenges. But now it's all like rednecks making fruity pebble moonshine and fucking people like military fucking spec ops videos of them blowing shit up. Like, yeah, conspiracy theories.
Fucking A.
But yeah. Get a TikTok.
So yeah, you streamed some Tarkov. You play or watch anything else this week?
Well, I watched my shows, the usual Lego Masters and Hell's Kitchen. Had to get caught up. Dude, Lego Masters. They give these people, they're like, all right, you have to build something huge in 360 off of one Lego Technic brick that's like hung by 2 wires in the middle of the room.
What?
Just one Technic brick, and then like these dudes built like a big fucking whale with like a squid wrapped around it and shit.
That's
Yeah,
insane.
wild. These, yeah, I'm not, yeah, but it's dope. And yeah, I streamed some Tarky, and then I finally one night was like played with one of my mods, and we were playing, and fucking God, we just got shit on so much, so much, and like, and he's like, all right, that's it, I'm done with Tarkov tonight, and I'm like, I'll give it one more raid, boy. I fucking stacked up and went in, got shit on. I was like, all right, I'll play some Valhalla. So I finished up a quest arc that I was doing in Valhalla, which was by far the coolest one. It has to do with the Wicker Man Festival.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, some
um
drama. What about you, man?
I've been sticking to the usual. Saturday I streamed State of Decay for like 5 hours. I really did some work on that game. And then Sunday I played a little bit more. I moved bases. I don't really like the new base I got, and I cleaned out like the whole rest of the map. So I'm basically like the only thing I have left to do to progress is move on to the next map. I don't really know if I want to do that because I feel like it's just going to be the same thing I just got done doing. So I don't know. I think I might just ramp up the difficulty like to like a harder one and see where it takes me from there in this or in this similar same map. And I've been working on the Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart Platinum Trophy. It's ridiculously easy. I do not like this trophy list whatsoever. It's it's almost difficult to not. It reminds me of the Spider-Man 2014 or 2018 Platinum Trophy, where like basically if you beat the game you get it. Like you got to like go out and get some collectibles, but like you don't have to level up every weapon maxed out. You don't have to get every upgrade. You don't have to get every gold bolt. You don't have to get every armor set. Um, and then there's just like a bunch of weird trophies on top of that, like kill 5 of this one enemy and use this random weapon that no one really likes to kill 10 enemies. It's like, oh well, great. And then I watched Loki that just wrapped up. The season 1 finale was on Wednesday, and whoo was
Yeah, I saw my sister's boyfriend. She was like videotaping his reaction. He's like, I know it. I was like, all right.
yeah, it was a really good finale. And it was very different from what I was necessarily expecting in the sense of basically the entire episode took place in like one room and they were just sitting across from each other at a desk having a conversation. There was like one fight scene, but other than that, that was the episode. And that was really cool because it was all dialogue and it was all acting based. And I can't remember the actor who played the mystery character, I don't want to spoil it. Jonathan Majors, I think is his name. He was the main character in that Lovecraft Country that came out late or last year, I think is when that came out. But he killed it. Oh my god, I cannot wait to see what he continues to do with this character because he ate up every scene he had in that episode, and it was really fucking good. And then I watched Black Widow. Nah, it's whatever. I wasn't expecting it to be as whatever as people were saying it was, but yeah, it's a movie. It exists. I mean, there's nothing bad about it, but then, I feel like with Endgame, Marvel set just such high standards and stakes. So whenever something's kind of just there, like an origin movie kind of, like this was kind of, it didn't really work for me. There were some pretty cool action set pieces, and Taskmaster was a pretty cool introduction, but other than that, there really wasn't much to it. But I know you're not a Marvel fan. Oh yeah. And
Yeah, I am, and I'm not.
yeah, you're not an MCU fan. But I did watch one more thing just before we started recording.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah. I watched Space Jam 2: A New Legacy.
Just
And,
tell me if it was good or not, because I want to watch it with Lady Ham tonight.
dude, it was rough.
Really?
It's bad.
All
Like,
right, all right. Listen, I saw a tweet that was like, "Here's my review of Space Jam 2. It's just as good as LeBron's championship record, 4-10."
that's not bad.
I heard there's a cameo from a cartoon I like.
If you're a, oh yeah. Yeah, if there's a cameo from like every Warner Brothers property. If you're a fan of the Looney Tunes, I thought it was great. Like I thought they were great, and I loved the Looney Tunes in it. But god damn, can LeBron James not act? His kid can't act, or like his kid in the movie can't act. Like there's like it was like my brother walked in there. He was like, God, it's almost like they're trying to get bad actors for this. But they like there was good things about the movie. Like Don Cheadle as the antagonist. I liked his motives. Like I liked his reasoning for why he was the bad guy and why he was doing what he was doing. That was all I thought actually cool. And then how they incorporated all of Warner Brothers properties into the movie, as I said it when I saw the trailer, they're turning Space Jam into a Space Jam, or they're taking their universe, like their space of all these characters, and they're just making a fucking jam out of it. The biggest disappointment that this movie had, and my biggest issue with it, is the soundtrack.
Really?
Yeah. Somehow, even with R. Kelly on the first soundtrack, it's still 10 times better than this one. Cause yeah, man, like the opening of the movie, like the whole like first 5 minutes is like basically the same as the first Space Jam, where it's LeBron as a kid and he's talking about how he wants to, be like, the best basketball player ever. And his coach is like, like beating him down on how he's got to be the best basketball player ever. And then, then they get into, the credit montage. And in the first Space Jam, the credit montage song you get, Jay, is Space Jam.
Steve Miller. Oh, wait, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Come on and slam if you want to jam.
Right.
Everybody get up and throw your hands
Fly
up.
Like an Eagle, isn't it?
Yeah. That's Seal.
Oh, see, it already Seal.
Isn't that Seal?
Steve Miller Band.
Oh. Well, I think their version was Seal, or didn't Seal cover it? Seal's in that.
Fucking no.
Seal's in there somewhere.
I saw Seal on Masked Singer the other day.
But yeah, I mean, it was way longer than I wanted it to be. It was about 2 hours. It was like so fucking long, and yeah, I if you want to waste time, if you got literally nothing else to watch, then go for it. But like that nostalgia is just it's not going to be anywhere near as good as it's not going to be anywhere near as good as fuck. Now I'm frozen on my dumb face. Hold on, gotta pop this out. All right, so we are audio only for the memento. Pop out. There we go. Back to video. Shrink you down to here. All right, we're not frozen anymore. Okay, cool. So yeah, we're about to move on to the news here. And before I get into story number 1, Jay, there's this this hype video that I saw, and I retweeted it. I don't know if you watched it. This has got to be one of the most get hype videos I have ever seen. Or I don't know, one of the most hit your feels videos I've ever seen. In the caption, it's just a video game, they say. Sums up this perfectly. I am not
In a rainbow, now a rainbow is gone, overcast by your shadows as our worlds move on. In the shadows, I can be you, to be near you for a while. Of you and me, ever changing.
A lot of it is nods to Sony.
Moving fast, and this time must be wanted, must be called through your eyes. But I need Jake to tell you that I love you and never ends, and I'm blessed every day now for a year, for a year. I am lost in a rainbow, now a rainbow is gone. I am lost in a rainbow, now a rainbow is gone. I am lost, I am
Tell me that didn't hit you right in the feels. Come
Dude,
on.
the worst one was the first Red Dead 2 one they put in there.
Yeah,
When the doctor literally tells him like he has tuberculosis and that he's like only has like a couple weeks to live.
bro, I'm still
And the-
coming
and
down
the-
from them
and-
bumps.
And the look in Arthur's eyes like, fuck, I have to save at least John.
Yeah. Goddamn. I've watched this thing about 1.5 billion times. And I gotta like pin this. I'm gonna actually, can I bookmark it real quick? Let me bookmark this real quick. Add tweet to bookmarks. Cool. Cause yeah, I need that in my life at all times whenever I'm feeling down. But let's get into the news. We got a few stories. We got 7 stories here this week. Not many big ones. And a few of them are actually pretty quick. They're mostly delay based, but first story I feel
Ooh,
like we're gonna talk
baby.
about for a minute. Judging by your response right there, we haven't talked about this at all together. I am very much not a fan. I don't really care.
Neither
But
do I, but I want to.
I'll get into why in a second. But this is over at Polygon by Ryan Gilliam. Valve announces a Steam Deck handheld for PC games. The Steam Deck is a new handheld device for Valve for playing PC games on the go, the company announced Thursday. The Nintendo Switch-like device is set for release in December, starting at $399. Previously rumored as the Steam Pal, the Steam Deck is a portable PC that's slightly larger than a Nintendo Switch. It features a 7-inch touchscreen with 2 thumbsticks, a D-pad, and 4-button layout. There's also 2 trackpads, one on either side of the machine under the thumbsticks to allow for increased precision. Do not like that and do not agree with that. The Steam Deck also has 8 triggers on its back, 4 on the device's shoulders, and 4 where the ring and pinky finger rest. The Steam Deck will run games from players' existing Steam libraries. Players will simply log into their account, and their friends and catalog should follow them onto the handheld. The Steam Deck is capable of running PC games on its own hardware without the power of the cloud. Videos released by Valve show people using the Steam Deck natively play games such as Baldur's Gate 3, Crusaders King 3, Disco Elysium, Hades, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Players can also purchase a dock, which allows the Steam Deck to run on your TV, which, if you have a high-end PC, makes this thing totally fucking useless. Because, no, Jay, why don't you go ahead and, because we'll just stop there because, I could, it's got an AMD and its CPU, Zen 2 microarchitecture, 3.5 gigahertz, blah, 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 blah.
So the big thing for me with it, I'm not going to get one, obviously. Why?
It's
would
so
I get one?
expensive.
I know.
It's so expensive.
But I have like my coworker, right? I want to game with him, but he just has PS5, right? And not all games have crossplay, and I'm always telling him about these dope games. And I was like, dude, just think, like instead of building a PC or ordering like $1,000 PC for yourself and all that shit you need to get, I was like, you just get this for $300 and we could fucking game together, bro. But I feel like they're gonna explode in your hand. I saw them playing like Control. And,
Well,
like,
that's one of the big concerns is someone or IGN, they went hands-on and they were saying Portal 2 can, when you run Portal, or it might have been Digital Foundry actually. They said when you play Portal 2, a 10-year-old game, and not a demanding game in any way, shape, or form, you could play it for roughly 2 hours before the battery dies. And if you want to save battery, you could drop it down to 30 FPS. It's only going to be playing in 720p. Like I'm a picky person, and 720p 30 FPS to play like Steam games, not a fan. I'm also really curious how the optimization for the games are going to work, because you're big on PC. One of the reasons why I don't like PC is because more times, if you're not a PC gamer at all, more times than you would probably be aware of, or you'd probably be surprised by, it's not as simply as you pay for the game, you download it, and you boot it up. Sometimes there are driver issues with the game that you got to go and figure out. I always think back to Assassin's Creed Syndicate. I literally had to change a line of code. Like I had to go into the game's code and delete a line of that. And like, when I say that, because that is ridiculous, they're not Jay, but I know other PC dorks that are like, oh dude, that's like totally normal. Like, what are you bitching about? And I'm like, that's not fucking normal. And if that's normal, then fuck PC gaming. So
that's not normal at all.
Yeah, so thank you. I'm curious how games are going to be optimized for this thing. Like, are there going to be driver issues? Is there going to be any stability issues? Because personally, playing handheld 720 for fucking at 30 FPS for 4 hours, like, nah, I'm cool. I'm good. But my final issue is, look at this picture here. Look at the ergonomics and the layout of this controller. Did they not learn anything from the Wii U? Why would you put the joysticks so high up? And if you watch the announcement videos, it's because they're using the thumbs on the trackpads. They're really trying to sell those Steam has been trying to sell these fucking trackpads since that Steam controller in like 2011, 2012. I do not have personally, like, it's different on a software level, but personally, this thing is it smells a little Ouya to me. It smells kind of like Ouya.
Ouya.
The only difference between this and the Steam machine is that Valve is actually producing this and Valve is making this. Valve back then, they announced the Steam machine and then they just pawned it off onto other people and expected them to make it. And Alienware made a few lines, like they're like, we could do something with this, but those never went anywhere. They don't make them anymore. No one has them.
Right.
So yeah, I don't have any interest in this personally. I would, if you do pre-order it, I would maybe pre-order it with the intentions on possibly selling it for double the price that you bought it for.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, and just wait for, reviews to pop and shit like that. Story number 2 is kind of a follow-up here to story number 1. Elgato announces a new Stream Deck. The same day
real quick.
Valve announces the new Steam Deck. This is over at The Verge by Jay Peters. Elgato's Stream Deck is I'm telling you right now, I'm going to fuck this up at some point. Elgato's Stream Deck is a popular tool for live streamers. I have one right now. It is my key for producing this entire show. I would be struggling so much without this thing. It's a popular tool for live streamers, letting them set shortcuts and controls they can access with the push of a button, and the company announced a new model on Thursday, the Stream Deck MK2. This version brings a host of welcoming improvements, including a detachable stand, interchangeable faceplates, and a removable USB-C cable. That's really cool. You can order it right now on the website for $150. Well, God, Elgato, they are sticklers.
It's the same price as the first one.
Well, the Stream Deck does seem like a nice upgrade. It was announced on perhaps the worst possible day. Just a few hours ago, Valve made a huge splash by revealing its new handheld gaming console called the Steam Deck. While they are entirely different products, there's sure to be some confusion about the names Stream Deck versus Steam Deck. Jay, which one do you got? You got just the base model with like the 15 keys, or do you got that big, beefy, 22 key boy?
I got the 15. I want the 22, but I was waiting for that shit to go down in price.
My whole thing is I got you could create pages and files, and that's what I do for the news and for our scenes and everything. But I was thinking, if anything, if I wanted another one, I would just buy one of the smaller ones.
Oh, the minis?
Yeah, because one of those
have 6 keys?
I think they have, it's either 6 or 8. I want to say 8.
No.
I want to say it was 4.
No, they're tiny.
I thought it was 4 on top and 4 on the bottom.
Let me look at her.
Yeah.
Hang on. Stream Deck Mini.
But I'm thoroughly convinced Valve did this on purpose, and they knew, because I knew this
It has
thing.
6 keys.
Okay. I knew this thing was going to be announced today. Because Elgato's one of those companies where they send shit out to anyone for free who will take it and say that they're, a proponent of Elgato. Elgato, if you want to send me some free shit, I'm all for it.
Yeah, what up?
And yeah, I saw a bunch of content creators just post an image of a black box of about the size of a Stream Deck, retail box. And they were saying oh, I just got this sent by Elgato and I can't open it until the 15th. I wonder what it is. And I wonder if Valve saw that and they were like, oh, we were going to announce this on Thursday, but what if we just push it back a day? What if we just push it to Friday and fucking fuck with them? So anytime someone's talking about a Stream Deck, they're going to be thinking of us. I don't know. That's just a little.
No, how many kids are going to be like, Mom, I want a Stream Deck for Christmas, and the mom's like, all right. She goes on and she's like, wow, here is $150, and then the kid gets a fucking Stream Deck instead of a Steam Deck.
Oh god damn. Yeah, no, I mean I praise Micro Center for their refurbished materials. I got my key light refurbished for $50 off. I got it for $100. I got my Stream Deck refurbished. I got that for $80. Got that for the price of a brand new mini. So yeah.
Man, I need to go over there.
Hit me up when you do come up here, because it's literally right next to my house.
All right.
Yeah, we can make a trip one day. I love going to Micro Center. But these next few stories are all unfortunate. Starting with story number 3, Jay, I am pissed. All right.
I didn't even see these articles, so.
Oh my god, Ubisoft delays Rainbow Six Extraction. Don't give a shit. Don't even care if that game exists or not. And fucking Riders Republic, dude. VentureBeat, this is by Mike Minotti. Ubisoft announced today in a separate blog post that Riders Republic is delayed from September 2nd to October 28th. Not that bad. And Rainbow Six Extraction is moving from September 16th to January 2022. Doesn't even have a release date. Dude, I don't know what is the problem with this game. I don't know what issues they are having with that game. It seems extremely basic. It seems like just some like kind of cheap way to, keep the Rainbow Six Siege assets afloat and hopefully, bring the audience over to this new game. But if you remember, this was supposed to come out in 2019. 2019, this was supposed to come out. Fall
I didn't know
2019.
that.
Or it might have been announced in fall 2019. It was supposed to be spring 2020. No. It was fall 2019. It was fall 2019. This game was supposed to come out. And that's the problem. It looks so basic. Like, it looks old. I don't know who wants to play this game. I'm not really big on Reddit, but I want to check out, like, the Rainbow Six Siege Reddit and see, like, I wouldn't be surprised if people are straight up like, cool, just keep it. We don't want it. We're fine with Siege.
Yeah, I don't think anyone gives a fuck about this game except little kids at this point.
Rainbow Six games.
No, not Siege, the Extraction,
Yeah.
or this fucking whatever it is with
But-
aliens and stuff.
I don't know what it is, but they've been struggling with Rainbow Six development for, I want to say, the last 10 years almost. Yeah, about almost 10 years. Because remember in 2012 when Rainbow Six Patriots was shown and talked about? That was supposed to be like a really dark, fucking awesome game. But that was canceled in the shadows and then announced like months after the fact. And then they later announced and showed Siege. And it was everything I didn't want from a Rainbow Six game. And I feel
But remember the trailer. Have you
Yeah.
ever seen that? Oh my god, it's nothing like what we got.
And my issue with Siege is that it's the Rainbow Six name. And I feel like that's a lot of people. Where I feel like a lot of even Rainbow Six fans would love a Vegas 3 or something.
Yeah.
But like they're not playing this game for the Rainbow Six aspect. They're playing it for the fact that it's, just a good first person shooter. If you want to go on about it for a second, I got to just turn my fan on. I am sweating balls over here.
Well, I think that they need to go back to the roots because I think this is another situation, in my opinion, with Ubisoft where it should just be called Siege. Or like I know like sick that's what it should just be called Siege because this isn't Rainbow Six. Rainbow Six is a more or less a simulator-esque type of game. I was just saying how this is another example of Ubisoft where they should have just named it Siege instead of tacking on Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six.
Yeah,
Like if they would have called it Siege, it would have been fine.
Yeah, it's a good point. We've been talking about how, they should just make Assassin's Creed its own. Well, it sounds like that's what they're actually kind of starting to do with Infinity. But, we kind of wanted it in a different way. But yeah, no, it's just depressing that they're, that they won't do what I think is so obvious what people want. But it's just one of those things where we're not the majority. We are 100% the minority. There are people who do not listen and do not pay attention, and they just see Rainbow Six and news Rainbow Six, and they're like, oh, cool. Fuck. I bet there's going to be a ton of people that walk into a store, see a brand new Rainbow Six game called Extraction, and they're going to buy it with no idea that it has fucking aliens in it. And like, that's the big thing, is that it's like Left 4 Dead, like stealthy espionage Left 4 Dead. It's, I don't know.
Yeah, but the gameplay that they showed at E3 was like the same assetted alien over and over and over and over again.
It was the same assets from Rainbow Six Siege. Like, it didn't graphically or mechanically look any different. They just added black sludge all over the place. But yeah, Riders Republic, that's a damn shame. As you all probably know at this point, I fucking hate Ubisoft. as a publisher, and their heads are real pieces of shit. But god damn it, if I really, 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 really want to play Riders Republic. But we got a couple more delays here, or one more, I think. What do we got? Yeah, we got one more delay. What? Nope. Okay, yep. Whoops. There we go. This is over by Tango Gameworks. This is on their Twitter account. Excuse me real quick.
Weak.
Yeah, fuck. I muted. We've made the decision to delay the launch. Did I mute?
Yeah, you did.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking maybe I didn't mute. And you're like, you didn't mute. And that was just a weak ass burp, son. But this is over at Tango Gameworks. These are guys who did The Evil Within, The Evil Within 2. We've made the decision to delay the launch of Ghostwire Tokyo to early 2022. We want to get the game in your hands as soon as possible so you can experience the unforgettable version of a haunted Tokyo that we've been hard at work at building. At the same time, we're also focused on protecting the health of everyone at Tango. Our new release window will give us time to bring the world of Ghostwire to life as we've always envisioned it. Thank you for being patient as we work to bring you an experience unlike anything else we've ever made. We can't wait to show you more in the coming months. Have you seen this game at all?
Not like recently.
It looks bad. I sorry, like no, you know, like I don't want to be mean, but it does not look good.
I don't doubt it.
And like the trail, like they gave us like it's a perfect example of how a cinematic trailer can mislead you. Because just real quick, I'm not going to play the whole thing, but this was the cinematic trailer that they gave us back in like 2018, 2019, you know, talking about the game. And then like, you know, it's like people just start disappearing and like, you know, like these creepy dudes are walking around. It's, you know, it looks cool. It looks almost like they're gonna do like a psychological horror Silent Hill-esque in Tokyo. And then this is the gameplay that they put out the year after. And it just looks fucking bad to me. Like I guess like graphically it looks fine. You know, I'm sure it'll run well. Maybe they can't get it to run well. That's why it's running like shit. But like all this is cool. Like when I first saw this, I was like, okay, this is all interesting. I'm down for all of this. And then it gets into just this weird ass combat that I do not understand at all.
Let me see this shit.
Come on. Here we go.
It's up to you to save Tokyo.
Like you're doing like pistol guns and you're grabbing cubes out of people. It seems very indie or like maybe cheaply made. And this is, you know, a AAA developer. They're owned by Bethesda, which is now owned by Microsoft. Is published by Sony.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks dumb.
It almost looks like a fucking VR game or something. But yeah, I couldn't give like I want to like that game so much, and it's so annoying that I can't because it just looks pretty fucking basic and boring. Story number 5. I was moving on quickly through here. Jay, get me my sunglasses because we're squatting up here this fall.
Didn't I tell you?
Yeah, you sent this to me. Yeah, this is over at VGC, but Tom Ivan, in an updated blog post, the studio said Crossplay was one of fans' most asked about features. We can confirm it's a function we're looking to build and test for Battlefield 2042. It said, adding that it has delayed a planned technical playtest from early July to late this summer, so we'll have the opportunity to test the crossplay functionality. The test will accommodate a few thousand participants ahead of a wider testing and an open beta before the game's October release. Jay, I cannot fucking wait. I
I know.
cannot wait. And we've gloated about this game enough. I think it's obvious we'll stream the fucking tits and balls off this game when it eventually drops. But my big question is, we are halfway through July. August is approaching quickly, and we still don't even have a name for the next Call of Duty. You know, Activision Blizzard isn't doing their BlizzCon thing, so there's not gonna happen. They're not gonna have an announcement there. I think Activision might be at Gamescom, so they might do it there. But
I saw like a little conspiracy thing on TikTok that like the Call of Duty next year, like, because this year could be Modern Warfare completely remastered or this Vanguard game. But they're talking about next year is going to be like that Call of Duty that's in like the Chinese one that has just like bits and pieces from every single game, like every map from Call of Duty 4 to the new ones, and every gun from every game, every kill streak from every game.
so they're doing Super Smash Brothers Ultimate, but with Call of
Maybe
Duty.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like that's a direction they need to go.
I honestly have no idea what, like, by
It'd
my
be like Call of Duty Universe.
in
something
my
like
eyes,
that.
Call of Duty doesn't have to do shit because they're like Madden at this point. They're annualized games that are constantly topping charts and are always selling. So as long as they just keep on making the fucking games, they'll sell. The one time they got innovative was in Call of Duty Black Ops 4, where they didn't have a campaign, and that is without a doubt their worst selling Call of Duty to date.
Yeah, I think their best one is Modern Warfare, the newest one. Ugh,
Yeah, I
such a
know you
good
really
campaign.
love that game. But yeah, I'm really curious on when we're gonna see and hear about the next Call of Duty, because that's usually an October game, and I mean, I could see that being announced at Sony's big AAA event whenever they do eventually hold that, because Sony has had the marketing rights for Call of Duty for this last generation. So I'm curious when we're going to see that. I'm wondering what setting it's going to be, and I wonder if it's finally going to be like 500 gigabytes. Because, dude, these Call of Duty games are insane. They're like
I know.
literally trying to make it the only game that can fit on a home console. It's ridiculous. And then our final little piece here. Actually, we got one more. Yeah, we got one more actually real quick.
This is crazy.
This
dude.
is I just wanted to pull this up real quick. This is over by Liam Croft at Push Square. The PlayStation Store sales charts. Cyberpunk 2077 was June's best-selling PS4 game following its PlayStation Store return, and it did this in 9 days.
It's kids wanting to do the virtual sex.
It's honestly, again, what I just said, and we're in the minority. You know, we know this game is garbage. A dude's gonna walk into the stores and be like, "Oh shit, this game finally came out!" Like, he didn't even know it was delayed.
Yeah, you're right. I keep.
He doesn't read
forgetting the fact-
IGN. He doesn't read PlayStation blogs, so he doesn't know that Sony is literally saying, "Don't play this on a PS4."
Right, he's just gonna go get Cyberpunk and Mountain Dew and get in his Dodge Cummins and go play it.
Crash his system. Yeah, so this is really fucking ridiculous. And then our final little tidbit here is, I just want to point out, it is the 34-year anniversary of Metal Gear Solid. 34 years. And if you're interested in any of that, or interested in Hideo Kojima at all, I would highly recommend going and checking out his Twitter from the last few days, because he's been putting out some really, really cool tweets that not really so much images, but just a lot of behind the scenes stories. Like he was talking about how when he finally got Metal Gear on the shelves for the first time, like at a local store of his, he would hand out flyers outside of the shop, promoting the thing. So he's telling a lot of really cool stories like that. And he's also saying some really weird shit that I don't really know how to take. Like he's let me see if I could just see anything real quick. I think there was actually something right at the top that jumped out at me. That was pretty funny. Um, uh, yeah, no, okay, but no, I mean, this is like he's just doing a bunch of stuff like this for Death Stranding launch trailer. I've been receiving many requests creating with the ending song by Silent Poets or churches. I was thinking of doing that at one point, but it would have helped. But it would have been too similar to last year. Sorry, the translation would have been too similar to the last trailer that used the BB theme, so I gave up. Both songs are great, including the lyrics. And then he talks, yeah, like I said, about a bunch of Metal Gear stuff. I saw a bunch of people reading hella into this, and I'm like, I think he's just celebrating the, how long it's been since it originally came out, and I think that is cool. I just want to see if he posted any direct Metal Gear story real quick, but I'm not seeing anything. Okay, yeah, like right here. Right here. This image I did not see. Powered by Decima. Okay, with support from Gorilla. Okay. 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 Sorry, I'm thinking. Thinking about a few things. One of them is still that Jeff Grubb could be full of shit. Yeah, no, sorry, I'm totally ranting and getting in my own head. But that is all we have for news. Bunch of delays, nothing really big this week. Last week was the big news. Oh god, you got Inception. Let me get rid of that. Last week was the big news week with the Switch OLED and the GTA 6 rumors and all that jibber jabber. But before we get into our closing shop topic, which is, by the way, this week boss battles, we're just gonna gloat about boss battles, what we like about them, what we don't like about them, some of our favorites, some of our least favorites, and we'll get into all that and more once I go and smoke a cigarette. We will be back in about 5 minutes, so don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Don't touch that dial.
We are back with our closing topic. We are talking boss battles, what we like about them, what we don't like about them, our favorites, our least favorites. Jay,
Yeah.
hit me with a boss battle.
Let's see here. I'll start with Dead Rising.
Oh, you got a good list there. Yeah, Dead Rising. Fuck yeah.
1 and 2. I always their boss battles are excruciatingly painful.
Especially one.
Sometimes. There's a couple in particular, especially in the second one.
I thought one was really bad just because of the strictly because of the mechanics of the game.
Yeah. Yeah, 1 was bad.
Like it was dated. Like I feel like
At the time.
Yeah. Whereas 2, L2 was aim and R2 was fire.
See, I think the thing with the first one was it was more or less the mechanic of fitting that many zombies on the screen at one time.
100%. I haven't looked at those games in a while. I'm curious if they're still as robust as I remember them as a child.
I played the second one on stream 2 years ago on Halloween or something like that. On Steam, they have it. But yeah, no, the bosses are just they're grueling, but I like the characters they make. I feel they're all just crazy fucking people, dude. Like the most psychotic freaking people that you've ever seen in a video game. That's who the bosses are. Like the chef in the second one, cutting up the chicken and the zombie meat and putting it in there.
For
He's
sure.
hard as fuck. to beat. And then you have the time limit on top of it.
Yeah, there are a lot of. Here, let me see them all. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
there's a lot.
Right?
Fuck yeah, no, that's a good choice because yeah, their bosses were some of the better ones out of Capcom. Like I would put them next to. I'd put them up there with Resident Evil bosses.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
But yeah, no.
Like the dude with the chainsaws on the motorcycle.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And then you unlock that and then you get to ride one and it is devastating. But let me see here. What do I got? Fucking Eric from Thug.
Oh my god, dude! Yes.
He might have been the first boss I hated as a person. if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, because
I
remember-
genuinely
yeah.
thought Eric was a dick and I didn't like him. And yeah, fucking Sephiroth was an asshole and fucking Ganondorf and blah blah blah.
But you liked them.
This
Like,
was
it
this
they
was
were
the
cool.
yeah, they were cool. Like this was the first boss where I was like, God, this guy's a straight up dick.
Little shit rat runt.
Yeah, for sure. So I just wanted to shout that one out for like nostalgia's sake. And
I
then
love
also
him when-
that final battle against him. That final skate off took me forever when I was a kid.
Yeah, but when you beat him, he's just cussing you out, and it's so awesome. Don't you walk away from me, you piece of shit.
Hell yeah. What's
Good
another one
one.
you got?
Wolfenstein's bosses, specifically in the New Order and the new Colossus, the 1 and 2
Yeah.
of like the reboots. One in particular being when you fight the old Nazi hag, and she's in that like mech suit, and somehow like her whole like face gets ripped off, and she's like smiling at you, but like she's got a shit ton of teeth missing, and like half of her jaw's like ripped off, but she's still like talking and cursing you out and shit, like all
Oh,
up in your
God.
grill. But if like in that game, it feels so to like kill the Nazis. And the boss battles are all like really good, really done. I guess like they're kind of like spammy, but I like
I heard the
I like how you
second one
brutally
was
kill 'em.
really hard. Or I heard the difficulty was really up there.
It was. I played that one on the PS4 when it came out. Good shit, dude. I liked the second one. I know a lot of people didn't, but it was good.
God,
I
these
d-
games
I
are
like the
still
story.
expensive.
Bethesda, dude.
I never played the new Wolfensteins.
Really?
Yeah.
I think you should give them a go for like and I'm serious, like a weekend session.
Maybe
They're fun games.
Maybe I'll pop them out. The next, so I still have to play the Final Fantasy VII expansion, but I'm pretty much caught up right now, except for Returnal. But the one game I want to go and play is Crisis. Like I have a
Really?
big beefy PC, and I've never played Crisis, and I wanna run that game heavy.
It's just one big tech demo.
Oh, I hate when people say that. We'll see.
That's what it is. Same with Far Cry. One big tech demo.
No, there's
That's
more.
why they re-released the same game with the same story with the same intro like 6 times.
Well, what else? What other ones do I got here? God of War bosses. The original God of War games were essentially just like big old set pieces with their boss battles. There wasn't really much difficulty to them, really. They were more so just big and awe-inspiring. And in the 2018 God of War, with the whole idea that the cameras, it's a oneer, it's behind you the whole time, following, and there is not a single cut in that entire game unless you die. The way they incorporate that into the boss battles in the 2018 is part of the reason on why it's my favorite game of all time. Like the first boss battle you fight Baldur within the first hour of the game it is like the greatest superhero battle in any video game ever. Like he fucking uppercuts you through your house, and then you land, and then you rip a tree out of the ground and crack him across a field, and then you tackle him through a mountain, and then you're like fucking bear hug wrestling on the ground, and you're two are fighting so hard the earth literally splits. It's like it's just so fucking epic, and the whole time the camera's just right up on you, and it's so intense. And there's, you fight a dragon that's ridiculous. um so yeah, and then, going back to the OG God of War games, like that's where QTEs, the quick time events basically were invented. Was, when you're taking on these massive colossus, when you're like literally a speck running up an arm. Like they were totally awe-inspiring and incredibly cool. So yeah, shout out to the God of War bosses.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
for
know you
sure.
still have yet to
I'm
get in
I'm just
there.
waiting to get a PS5
For sure.
because I don't want to like buy it and play it at 1080p 30
30.
FPS.
Yeah, you can't do
Fuck
that.
that.
Can't do that.
Or release it on PC, then I'll play the shit out of it.
Oh, I would go back and play it 100%. But what's another one you got for me?
See, let me pull one out. I'm just gonna go in order here with Valheim's bosses, and not their bosses in particular, but like how. So you unlock a new boss, and you're like, "Oh, I had discovered the Elder, the big tree dude," and you go, and he fucking wrecks your shit, and you're like, "What's wrong?" So then you find out like you got to do all this shit and like get all this gear, and then you can fight him, and then he drops something that unlocks the next set of stuff to go fight the next boss. And I just like how it's always like not intentionally but intentionally inching you closer to that last boss. And you want to hang like the head on the mantle and stuff. Like, yeah, I don't know. I like their sense of progressing through a survival game, like with the bosses. Like that's the progression. And not a lot. It's kind of like Minecraft, but Minecraft doesn't really have a purpose, if you ask me.
Yeah, it was really unique how they handled their bosses, and what I really liked about them was it was the first time in a long time that I can remember where I actually needed guides. Like just like guides for the game, because like yeah, like you said, like I would just keep on getting my once I was taking on the elder by myself, because I remember you helped me out the one time so I could get like a pickaxe and get gear so then I can take them on myself eventually. Once I, got to that point, I needed guides, because I was just like, okay, if I go in there, I'm going to die and just lose all of my gear. Like, like where, like what do I need to do before I fucking make that trek there, die, and then have to make that trek all the way back just to get my fucking gear back and then start over. Um, and then yeah, no, so I looked up like, the best armor for him, what are the best arrows to use against him, where's to find that material for those arrows, and like, all
Yeah,
that shit. And
y-
I haven't had to do that for a boss battle, and I can't, they even Souls boss battles, like, it's like a dance, like, you learn their movement, and then you just go off of that. There's not really a guide that can teach you that. Like, I guess the most a guide could do is like phase one, they'll hit you with these three attacks. Phase two, they'll hit you with these three attacks that are a version of the first phase that are just stronger. And then phase three, he's, just all out chaos coming at you left and right. Um, I guess like if you do that, but like verbally that doesn't come out well,
see,
versus like yeah, just get like like get this material, and then just do your best to avoid these
well,
attacks. But then
the
at that
cool,
point you got to get
the
to you got to watch a video, and if I got to watch a video, I'm not doing it.
yeah, like the cool part about Valheim's boss is that since it's a procedurally generated game, the setting is always different. Like I fought the elder in a field, but I fought him on the edge of a mountain.
Yeah,
You know,
I
and
fought
I
him in the
fought him
middle
on
of a forest.
right, like,
It
and then
sucked.
I like that, and I like how like you then soon find like this like the best thing to use. Like first boss, fire arrows. Yeah, Eikthyr, the elder, flint like the flint head arrows or whatever, but you had to hit that diamond in his chest. That's his weak spot. The swamp one, what's it? Bone mass. The most damage is done with a mace,
Yeah.
which is the club skill, and then it's a skill that you're never gonna fucking use up until that point. You're like, fuck, I should have grinded this.
Yeah.
So like, yeah,
Yeah, the elder was I thought he was like by like the second or third time I faced him, I thought he was actually kind of easy cuz like you just keep your distance and just move in a circle. Cuz like
yep.
he'll throw stuff at you, but as long as you're moving and, rotating, side to side, he won't, be able to hit you. He moves so fucking slow that as long as you like kind of back up while you're rotating, like, he'll never catch up to you.
The
So,
first time I did it, we had like 6 people.
but he's so big and
Yeah, I know.
you don't know what his moveset is. You're nervous about dying. So yeah, like you take it way more precautionary than you need to, and yeah, he fucks you up day and night. But no, yeah, no, Valheim, that's good. I want to get back to that game so badly.
I'm just waiting for the update.
The world I'm in are just my worlds are fucked. These my next three are just I feel like they're basically obvious. I really wanted to do like someone from Final Fantasy like Kefka or Sephiroth for number 3, but I just went with another group, Mega Man bosses. Part of Mega Man is its bosses. Like that's what it is you go to Splash Man's you go to Splash Man's stage, you complete it, you fight him at the end, and you get his weapon. Now, that weapon is going to be, in Pokemon terms, super effective against another one of the enemies, another one of the bosses. So, like, that's what's really cool about Mega Man, is then you start to learn the pattern. There are people who could beat Mega Man in, like, a half hour, because they know you go to Rockman and then you go down to that guy and then you go over to that guy and then you just use their, you just use each of their weapons on the following enemy and you'll just blaze right through them. So yeah, but there's shit like, if you don't know it, it could potentially be an extremely hard game for you. But yeah, no, I just shout out to Mega Man. They always, and then their boss design, and they've always just had some of the most unique bosses, I think, in games. But sorry, mine are just kind of all basic. You've got really cool ones. Mine are all kind of lame.
I had ideas.
What else you
I
got?
had ideas. This is a good one.
Sorry.
Ogdo Bogdo from the Fallen Order.
Who was
So when you're on the Jedi planet, so the second place you go, your safe spot.
Yeah.
You go down into that little cavern, and there's like the first mini boss of the game.
that like spider kind of thing?
No, he's big green, like a big toad looking thing.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
He was intentionally put there for you to find him when you get there, and for the game, that is the first sense of like, it's not a Star Wars game. We're gonna make these players, we're gonna check themselves before they wreck themselves, and we're just gonna shit on them, because that's one of the only bosses you always have to come back to beat. Because like it's a meme. I read an article before this about how like people were just getting wrecked by this thing, and it's put there intentionally to be like, this is a hard game. You're gonna die.
Beat him my first try.
Bullshit. No, you didn't.
Oh fuck yeah, dude! Souls player, man. I knew it was gonna be a Souls-like game, and I knew I was getting him too. I've
You play
beaten
on
Demon
easy.
Souls. What?
You playing on easy?
Fuck you! No, I played on normal or whatever the basic normal difficulty was. I wasn't playing on hard.
I still want to try it on Grandmaster.
Speaking of Souls-like bosses, These, like I said before, there's a dance to these bosses. They're puzzles. Um, I've never felt the reward I've gotten from beating, someone like Maneater in Demon Souls or Father Gascoigne and Bloodborne. Um, these, I cannot express my love for these games enough, as much as my frustration with these games. They have the greatest world design, I think, in video games. Like, there's no questions asked. I think it's only second to Mario, like literally. Because I've explained it before. The games are they're so difficult that when you start in this world from your last checkpoint and you learn each and every corner, each nook and cranny, and you know where each enemy is placed. So by your 15th time running through this world and you're just running up to the boss, you're dominating everyone, and you feel like such a badass because you know how hard the game was. And then yeah, once you finally take down one of those bosses, it feels so good. Like, no matter when you take a boss down in that game, it feels good. Whether it's the first time, whether you take them down your first time running in there, or you take them down your 10th time. It's like you take them down your 10th time, it's like so much adrenaline pumping. You're like, fuck yes, I fucking did it. Fuck you, Father Gascoigne. I fucking hate you. Or if you take them out the first time, like I did with the flanks enemy, the first boss in Demon Souls, where I'm like, yes, fuck you. Like, yeah, eat my shit, hardest of the Souls games. So yeah, just the sense of accomplishment, the fact that they're puzzles in their own, that you have to learn them, and then just one final note is the art direction for them. Like,
Yes.
just go and look at pictures of the bosses from a Bloodborne. They are horrifying. Like, the things these guys come up with are insane. Like, the first boss you fight in Bloodborne, it's like this giant werewolf that has branches for antlers, and it's got like root fur. Like, its fur is roots, and they're just going crazy. Or tentacles. I don't know. They're fucking weird. One of the final bosses in that game, one of the hardest bosses, is just a giant placenta. It's fucked up. With the dead mom attached to the other end, like just like a little dead mom attached, and it's just a big angry placenta. It's fucking horrifying. But yeah, shout out to Souls-like games. I cannot wait for Elden Ring, which might not, I don't think it's going to have an easy mode, but Miyazaki has said in a recent interview that it is going to be the easiest and most accessible of the Souls games, and that they were making that a goal, that they wanted it to be so it sounds like it's going to be even easier than Bloodborne, which to this day is like the easy one of the Souls games. If that if that ever comes to PC, that needs to be your introduction into Souls games.
I played it on PS4 because it was free, but it was like too far into me playing PC, and I couldn't do 30
Yeah,
FPS
no, that's
anymore.
what I'm saying. And then just Souls games in general, you do not want to play those at anything less than 60. But Jay, what is your number one?
My number one is Monster Ock from the PS1 Spider-Man game. So you feel accomplished because you beat Dr. Octopus, right? You beat him, the main bad guy of the game. Venom helped you along the way, which, side note, awesome boss battle when you're fucking chasing each other, flying through the buildings and stuff. But you defeat Doc Ock, you think it's over, and then boom, his little crone pops up, Carnage. Then you have a boss battle with Carnage. You beat Carnage, and the symbiote comes off of him and drips through like the vent in the floor. And then when you think it's all over, Monster Ock pops up, and he's like Carnage, Dr. Octopus, and you're like, he's chasing you through these like vents, and it's like I had nightmares as a kid with the screaming. Like just look it up. It's like
For sure.
demonic screaming and shit as he's chasing you, and you're like, and it always had like you the Spider-Man head and then the monster Ock head, and it'd be like getting farther, and then he'd be like gaining on you. You'd be like, oh shit, and it'd be like that, and then he'd be like getting on you, dude. Oh, I remember that. I'll never forget that for the rest of my life. I just remember loving that game up until that point when I just had genuine nightmares of that fucking. And like so far, I haven't ever seen anything about Monster Ock. I don't know if it was just that game or what, but that is a cool idea.
My number one, I don't know. I feel like I basically just end up mentioning this game on every podcast, and now that I think about it, we already talked about it. Metal Gear Solid. This is another game that is known for its bosses. Some of the most iconic moments in video game history are Metal Gear Solid bosses. Shout out to Psycho Mantis on the PS1. But people think that, Psycho Mantis was the only crazy way he fucked with the bosses. But after Psycho Mantis, it became harder to do that kind of things with the newer tech. So with Metal Gear Solid 3, for instance, Snake Eater, when you face the end, he is an impossible sniper, but he's also rapidly aging. Like he has go look up an image of the end. Like he is one of my favorite boss design villains. He's just picture just an old scruffy Vietnam looking veteran, and he's got a sniper, but his eye is like Uncle Ruckus basically. It's popped out and it's fucking pinpoint on anything. It's fucking creepy. And then, the image you'll get is him looking down the scope, and it's just his big eye staring at the scope, just looking around. And he will pop you the second you stand up or make any sort of move. So the fun little trick is that you can, while you're facing him, you could go into the PS2 settings, the console settings, and you can change your time. So you can raise it by 3 hours, and he'll die. He'll die of old age if you wait out his lifespan. And they did a similar thing on Metal Gear Solid 4 with Snake himself, because Snake's rapidly aging in that game. And if you just leave the game running for, I think it's 24 hours, Snake will die of old age. If you just put him in a corner and just leave the game running, he'll die.
Huh.
But yeah, no, I mean, just all Sniper Wolf. I got a poster right here of her. Vampire. I could go on for days. Even as many problems as I have with Metal Gear Solid 5 narratively, the boss battles are still there. The boss battles are still dope. Quiet was awesome. Quiet was basically the newer version of the end. She was just a younger woman, but it's the same idea. You're in this massive field and she's up on this ridge and she's, sniping at you. But a big thing with Metal Gear Solid 5 is you're able to call in equipment and items to use. And she was kicking my ass. I could not figure out a way around her. So I was just curious. So I pull out my Kodak and I'm just can I call a tank? And I can. So I spend all of my money and I call in a tank and they drop off a tank and I run and I get in the tank and I just drive up right next to her. And she's just sitting there, just popping me with the sniper, but it's not doing shit to me. And then, I just blow her up with the fucking tank.
Wild.
Yeah, she begs her life and she recruits me. Now, I know you're not a Metal Gear fan, but I highly recommend you play Metal Gear Solid 5. It's on the PC. You could probably get it for fucking $10. If it's anything more, just wait for it to go on sale. That shit'll drop down to $3 because it's so old. But it is still graphically and visually one of the best games out there I've seen. Mechanically, it is one of the best games I've ever played. Just how like once you like when you look at the UI for like your equipment, it can be kind of overwhelming, but then you just get so fluid with it. It's insane. And then yeah,
I've seen insane gameplay with like the horses and shit.
it is just the most in-depth stealth game out there. Like there is no other stealth game that compares to it. And it's like, I feel like you would have fun with it in the sense of just it's a game to zone out to. Like you pick up a mission, you go to Afghanistan, there's, 3 soldiers being held captive in this little village. You go, you choose what time of day you want to land there, and then you do whatever you want. And it's like it's stealth down to the point to where like, you walk up on behind a guy with your pistol drawn on him, and once you hit a certain point, Snake will be like, stop. And the guy will like, kind of peek his head over your shoulders, and you'll be like, and then you'll have an option to say stop again. And then he'll like fucking slowly put his rifle on the ground and put his hands up, and then you can guide him from there. You can walk up and grab him. You can put a knife to his throat and interrogate him, get information from him, but you won't know the information unless you get certain intel that shows you the language of what they're speaking, and you can get it translated. It's just so fucking in depth. So yeah, sorry to go off on a Metal Gear Solid
Oh, you're good.
but yeah, Metal Gear Solid 5, best stealth game to come out in the last 10 years, I would say, next to The Last of Us. And yeah, so Metal Gear Solid bosses, Souls-like bosses, Mega Man bosses, God of War bosses, and fucking Eric from Thug were my 5. Jay's 5 was Monster Rock and all Spider-Man bosses from the PS1 Nervesoft Spider-Man game. Ogo Bogo, the big-ass frog on the Jedi planet in Jedi Fallen Order, all the Valheim bosses, all of the Wolfenstein modern era bosses, Wolfenstein, whatever, Dead Rising bosses, which I honestly really like that one. I thought that was a good plug. But Jay, that wraps up episode 15.
Rap.
This has been Punk with the Controller. We are live Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I normally go live Mondays and Wednesdays sometimes during this week. Last Wednesday, I was working on my Platinum Trophy for Ratchet and Clank, and then Saturday, I streamed like 5 hours of State of Decay, so I've been all over the place lately, but you can find LordxHam over at twitch.tv/LordxHam, where he streams on the weekends. He's streaming a lot of Tarkov. He's streaming a lot of the snipey first-person shooty games. So,
yeah, come check it out if you want to watch someone get head-eyed over and over and over again.
if you've missed any of these episodes, you can go over to youtube.com/punkwithacontroller, where all 14 episodes are live right now. We upload them 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sundays, so this episode will be live around that time. Jay, I will hopefully get some sleep next week and not be so fucking exhausted, because these last 2 episodes, I've been in a pickle.
Yeah. Maybe you drink caffeine?
No, I drink the exact opposite. I drink downers. I drink things that make you tired.
Well, G Fuel, dude. I'm just kidding.
Sponsor us, G Fuel. I'll drink you then. All right. I'll talk to you guys
All right.
soon. Have a nice night.
Later, everybody.
Peace.